Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another Gotham City update. And in the last update, we worked on the raised train line area just here, amended the supports where they were going, but I also worked on the raised platform area just over the back here. And that is one part that I do need to work on first of all, because as you would have known from the last update, if you saw it, I built a wall in here in the wrong colour. So I just need to swap that over. What I also need to do is get this track put back down, because at the moment there's no track in the majority of this. So once I've done that, I can then start working on this top section. And that is one thing I would like to do. I'd like to put the permanent supports for this train line in place, rather than just propping it up with the bricks. So that's where we're going to be starting off on this update. Then once I've done that, I want to work out whether or not it's going to be possible to have a second train line that goes into the far end of the table there where there's going to be a mountain. So I want a train line to come all the way down to the train station and then back down there again. But I want to try and do it so that it's not running side by side with the current one. So there's a lot of planning to do, as I still need to work out where I'm going to be putting the roads to the raised platform area as well for the people that are going to and from the train station. So anyway, without further ado, let's get the bricks and plates out, mend the section just inside of here, and then we can start working on the train track. That's the archway, and the walls all changed over to tan, and I can't believe I made that mistake first time round, but it does look a lot better having it this way. And I've also put all of the train track under this part of the raised platform area, so now I can work away on this top section and not have to worry about getting my hands through from the top to attach the track together. And now that we've got the raised platform all sorted in regards to the track underneath it, I'm going to turn my attention to this area just here. First of all, I want to make a support pillar to go around about that point just there. And then I need to cut this section off just here. It goes too far, as you can see. Put a wedge plate just there to take it more towards where the Flatiron-esque building is. And then we continue a design all the way around here for the track to rest on. And I've spent several hours trying to come up with a design for this corner, and nothing's looking how I want it to. So what I've decided to do is replicate the style that I've got on the bottom of here, and then just support that up using probably some more pre-molded of the, I think they're 6x5 with a cross in the middle. So I'm going to use those and see how that looks. It's only going to be to when I get there. Once I've got to that section, we'll have the train station, so it'll all be nice and solid and brick built underneath. Now, the one thing that I am struggling with are the parts for doing that. As you'll see, I've only managed to get that far and I've run out of pieces, and it's these sections just here that I'm making up, and I use quite a lot of the dark bluish 4x4 and 3x3 plates, so I need to source a load more of those. So what I think I'm going to do is just borrow a few of these sections here, because as you see, they clip off easily enough and go back on just as easy. So yeah, I'll borrow them from here. That will enable me to finish that section off over on that side there, and then I'll just replace the ones on this side at a later day. So anyway, let's move them over there, work out exactly how we're going to support that, and I'll check back in a little bit later. And the experimenting with the raised train line continues, and I think I've come up with a better solution for the raised train line on the corners at least. And rather than have loads of sections attached to the bottom studs on the track, what I've actually done is built onto the train track. So as you can see on each of these sections here, I've placed a piece on there which is a brick and an inverted slope, so it's keeping the same style as before. It does mean that the total width is 2 studs wider, which is good, because that means that I've got more room to do details on the actual side there, like railings or whatever I want to put on there. But what then happens is I can then put this on top, crush it all together, and it's really strong. It's a lot sturdier than the previous design. So I think I will go with that for the corners. The only downside is it is using up twice as much track on the corners than before, and obviously the track pieces are quite expensive, but if it adds the structural strength to it, I think it is well worthwhile doing so. Now, it will mean that I will need to amend the straight sections, as they are now narrower than what this design is going to be, but I'm sure again there will be a solution for that where I can carry on using very similar pieces to what I've already used. Anyway, let's finish building this one up, pop this on the top there, take it over to the raised platform area, and if it looks good, what I'll do, I will go back to the original sections that I've already made and change it to this technique and just widen it by those 2 studs. And here we have the revised train line, and a lot happier with the look of this. The extra 2 studs make such a difference, and it is so much stronger on the corner than what this version here was. So I'm just going to now amend this part just here, join the 2 together so I know it's in the exact spot there needs to be, and then I'll start working on the supports that's going to hold it up over on the raised platform area. Now on these 2 parts here, it'll just be resting on tiles. So as soon as you get to the straight section, that's where it will be attached properly to the raised platform. Now, the actual platform for the train station, that's going to be probably in the section just about there. So it'd be nice to start working on that part as well. And that's the next section all completed. And we have got a slight technical problem here at the moment in the fact that it doesn't line up. So the angle that's going off down that way is slightly different than what the angle is after doing X amount of curves. So I'm going to need to put a bit of flexi track just in on this point here, and then that's going to enable me to straighten that up onto these sections just here. So just need to make that slight amendment, and then fingers crossed that'll be the problem solved. And that's the problem solved. The bit of flex track has done the trick nicely, and I've put an extra support beam in just here, as I felt there was not quite enough support there for how far down it is, and it seems to be a lot sturdier now. Much happier with how that's come along. All I need to do is put one more bit of flex track just there to straighten that out, because at the moment it is starting to come towards the centre of the table just a fraction. And then once we've done that, I'm going to start work on the platforms for the train station. And I've come up with a design I'm happy for the supports for this corner section just here. And it's using 4 of the arches per upright, and I haven't got any left. And I think it's another 2 that I need to make to carry on round on that section. So I need to order those in. But for the time being, I'm just going to use some bricks to take the weight of it. Now further on down here is where the next raised section is going to be. And I'm actually going to attach it to the mills plate that we've got here. So it will mean that I can't remove this mills plate without destroying the section above it. But I think it's necessary as we're going over joins on here. So I want to be able to attach the actual track down. So it is going to keep everything nice and square as well. So I'm not too bothered about that. Anyway, let's get the bricks out and start building this up so it's level with the train track. And there we have the support all in place, ready for the platforms to be built on and the train station to go at the back. Now on the front here, not sure what I'm going to be putting there exactly. I do need to have a road, as I mentioned previously, and possibly some parking spaces. I would have liked to have had a building there as well. So just got to work out how I'm going to get the extra space up there that I need if I want to do everything like that. I could even do a building which arches over the top of the track. So that's another option and would certainly give the city some much needed height and a lot more character as well. With the city, I definitely want to have a second train track. However, I definitely don't want to have it side by side with this going around the city. I like having just the single line going around there. So what I'm going to be doing is having a train track that stops here and starts here, should I say, and it comes along and then it comes out to the back here, and then it will be going along behind the Wayne Tower, and then it will just carry on along the back of the raised platform, and then it will veer off around about here. Obviously this building won't be here. Then it will go across the water and into the cliff face that's going to be there, and then it will just stop. The train line will obviously just stop there because it's going to be like a tunnel going out of Gotham City. And this is where Wayne Manor and the Batcave is going to be. And I just think that's going to be the perfect solution for how the people can get in and out of Gotham on a train. The road's going to be the same thing. It's just going to go off of the end of the table and into the bridge is going to go into the cliff face as well. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. But anyway, let's just put the next part of train track down on here, which will be the second line. So I just need to put some more grey plate, as I've done so, on there, and then we'll be ready for the actual platform itself to be built. And there is the second train line all in place, and I'm so glad that I have gone for a second train line here. I think it's definitely the right decision, and the train station will look much better rather than just having one line there. Now, in regards to this train line, I am considering moving it over by one stud. That means there's going to be an 8 stud gap between each of the train lines for the actual platform to go. Now, with the platforms on here, they are going to be freestanding, so they will just be sat on tiles and clipped on just on a couple of studs. That way, if I need to move anything around, it's very easy to do so and work on them. Now, in regards to working on this area, I am beginning to wonder whether I would be better off making this one large mills plate. At the moment, it's in 3 mills plates, I think it is. We have a large 48 by 48. We've got 4 32 by 32s in the square. We've then got another 3 32 by 32s in the line. And I just think it might be better to have it all as one large one. But I'm not sure whether or not I would be able to pick it all up without it breaking. What I'm concerned about is if I do need to get into this section, I'm going to have to do a lot of damage to the actual support structure just here, because it is going over several mills plates. So just something I need to have a good think about. I want to make this the easiest mock to work on further down the line. So if I do need to move stuff, I don't want to have lots of destruction and then try and work out how I put it back together, which is one of the reasons I've been building it in the modular style that I've been doing so. So just have to have a think about that. Now, in regards to this train line here, as I said, this is coming behind the old Wayne Tower, but I'm not going to be able to go any further with this, I don't think, until I've got this entire section all sorted here. So I need to start on the Wayne terminus just down here. I need to work out how I'm building the Wayne Tower into the front of the raised platform area just there as well. Now, I am going to have to order in quite a few pieces before I can do a lot of the work. As I mentioned earlier, I need to order in a load of the arches for the support structure there. I'm going to need some arches for the actual train station as well, but also dark bluish plate. Apart from the 4x6s, which I get off the pick a brick wall, I am so low on that. So that is something, again, I need to order in. But yeah, this has been great fun working on this train line, and I can't wait to make a start on the platforms and the stations as well, and getting all of those structures all put together. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for stopping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.